Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Overwatch Open. We are here now with the first semi-final in the European region. The scores are tied up 1-1 between Reunited and 2STRONK. An incredible King of the Hill map going all the way to the 5th point where 2STRONK were actually able to edge things out. We now have the third and final map, which is going to be Numbani. A little bit of a Reunited specialty though, Joshy.
So the meta, it changed so much. I don't know who to favor anymore. I know that Reunited are payload masters though, so Numbani definitely is one of those hybrid maps where you have to capture a point and then start to push a payload. They seem to excel at that. I know that if you were to ask me who's the best on Numbani, it's still Envy because, of course, they crush everyone all the time. But yeah, Reunited definitely showing their strength more in payload than King of the Hill, for example. Even though they did well and pushed it to 5 rounds, they did end up losing that map. And 2STRONK, I'm not sure that I actually expected 2STRONK to win a map, and they, I didn't give them enough credit yesterday either, and they beat Reunited 2-0.
Yeah, and to be fair as well, Reunited won the first map, and then they were 2-0 up in King of the Hill, and we were kind of sat there going, oh, what is going on here? 2STRONK really pulled it out of the bag there and really dug deep. I feel like maybe Valutaja was going a little bit unanswered at the beginning of that, and then it almost propelled the rest of the team on 2STRONK to really step it up. Was there any sort of individual change that you would like to highlight? I know we were talking about Icefelt a little bit.
Icefelt, what do you mean as far as 2STRONK doing something different or Reunited?
2STRONK, yeah, stepping up.
Well, 2STRONK, I think it was Sini. Sini's Dragon Blades were always on point, and that's what, brought up the potential, maybe Kib should have tried a Genji as it worked out for 2STRONK.
Sure.
And they didn't have a Reaper. So as we fly through the streets of Numbani here, you can see this very pretty map. It is one of my favorites visually. It can be kind of difficult to play on. Point A is actually very unique on Numbani because it is completely surrounded by high ground. That's why you're going to see a lot of range characters typically on defense. You can also go with a kind of a ground-based defense, but right now we see 2STRONK coming out with a Winston, of course, who's going to be able to leap up on all those ledges. Manatin's still on the Roadhog for that instant kill potential. Icefelt, of course, can stand wherever he wants because he's McCree.
Yep.
And it looks like the healers are the typical Zen-Lucio combo on both sides.
Very, very difficult here to capture sometimes because you're able to fire down from all sides. Is there anything that makes Numbani unique from this point of view? Because there are plenty... Oh, hang on a second. We have the engagement starting off here, and Lucio with the Discord Orb wisely getting out of the way. Mineral doing a good job of moving back there, but Ruster is going to go down very early on in the engagement, and Winghaven actually picking up a kill on Sini. That is a very, very important early pickup.
Yeah, look at the health bars just along the top. You can see the story so far. Reunited actually getting a bulk of the kills. Manatin off on his own now, even though he's gassing up. Does have the Discord Orb on him. He's just going to be a pin cushion for these remaining Reunited attackers, and they're going to sit on the point. Already one tick. Looks like they're going to capture A very swiftly in just under a minute.
That went very, very well for them there, and it almost feels like 2STRONK almost collapsed a little bit because normally, I don't know, this is considered very quick for Numbani.
Yeah, I mean, one and done is, I'll take that on any map. Basically, the first attack was successful for them. And Reunited do have a couple of ultimates to work with already on this Streets phase. Unfixed has that Diva ult that he can lob over buses, over around buildings. It can be very difficult on Numbani, actually, to see where that Diva ult is going to end up. So very powerful, actually, on attack. He's actually going to slide it into the gift shop region. No kills. Actually, Ruster goes down to it, so he does find some damage in there. Kib does have the Dragon Blade available for the side of Reunited and the attackers. Will he pop it against this Roadhog? Of course, I think he's going to be able to get him without it with the help of Diva. Payload still pushing effortlessly here through the streets.
2STRONK are trying to come up to make up for lost time, but as they come up to make up for lost time, it doesn't feel like they've had the time to sort of like set themselves up and really get ready.
I like that view.
They were already starting to kind of fall before all 6 of them were actually round the corner facing Reunited there. And I think we just need to take a little bit of a breather, especially with Kib being so on point right now. And look again, we have Ruster moving in. Sini is actually not far behind on Dragon Blade and doing a reasonable job, but I mean, can they actually get everyone down? There's actually 2 people down on the side of 2STRONK right now, so it's just really tricky. They need to all be engaging at once.
We did have both Dragon Blades out there. That was a little jarring at first. I thought Genji was teleporting, but actually
I was wondering that a little
Sini
bit.
and Kib both used their ults at the same time, so it looks like in the aftermath, Reunited are standing firmly. They've got 3 kills to their side and no one dead, so definitely continuing this extremely strong payload push. I think Reunited are payload specialists. King of the Hill, I would have given them the edge normally too, but we saw 2STRONK, of course, taking them out there. So I think they're happy about having 2 payload maps and only 1 King of the Hill in the pool.
Yeah, exactly right. They're absolutely not complaining about this at all. I mean, look at this performance. Even though they're winning the team fights, they're winning the team fights with all 16 members alive sometimes. This is absolutely fantastic. And here comes another engage. And Ruster, again, a little bit ahead of the rest of the team, trying to draw the fire away from Reunited's point of view. There are no ultimates available now after Mineral has exhausted his. Unfixed, Morton, Cruz looking. Here goes Diva. Do we see any kills?
2.
Well, there we go.
He got a double kill there with a great launch. Did you actually see where the Diva suit ended up? It was on that
sort of
ledge.
ended up in the bushes or beyond the ledge there, and it was really difficult to actually see because it looked like it was a bit out of view, but still managing to get those kills.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was too far away.
It seemed like Icefeld actually just swapped off from McCree onto Diva, but McCree had nowhere to go.
No.
Diva was going to kill him no matter what. McCree just a little bit slow and sluggish against that one. But Valuetaja lighting things up now, taking those free shots. Will he get the Zenyatta kill? I have to think he will. Yeah, there's the headshot to finish him off. Only 1 player left for 2STRONK to try and defend, and that is a super quick time on Numbani for Reunited. 2STRONK, they're going to have to really blaze through to set a faster time than that.
This is going to be pretty sick if we see 2STRONK beat this time. It is, of course, possible, but Reunited showing us why they are known, not only as payload specialists, but they are rather fond of Numbani as well. And in case you weren't convinced of that before, I think that performance really demonstrated how they put their foot down there. I mean, it didn't really look like 2STRONK, at least like in the first engagement and coming out to try and hold. It didn't feel like they were doing anything massively wrong, but it did feel like Reunited were cutting through them like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, I think it was just too disjointed, returning to the fights. Like you said, in that Streets phase, it looked like the 2STRONK defenders were kind of coming in one at a time and maybe overextending a little bit, whereas they could have just waited. And I think that's at the end of the Streets phase, we saw them actually wait for all 6. They jumped on the cart right as it was about to reach the checkpoint, and unfortunately that fight didn't go their way, and Reunited continued to run through. But
admittedly, that did look okay as an initial engagement. It's like it looked like they were waiting for each other. They were coordinating their fight, and they would have had an opportunity. But maybe we would have liked to see that almost on just after the first point rather than right at the end.
Yeah. So the time to beat. 3 minutes 42 seconds, if you can believe it. Yeah,
we do that every day, right?
So the fastest possible is something like 2 minutes 50 seconds or something like that, and that's really, really strong.
I think I've seen sub 3 minute once, and if I recall correctly, it was Reunited.
Very potential there. So on the defense this time around, we do have Reunited defending. Unfixed still on that Diva. Nothing too crazy coming out. Not seeing any soldiers or Torbs, which can sometimes poke their head out. I think just the recent additions to Diva's kit certainly are making her a more valuable pick than a Torb or a soldier at this point. And Mort is going to be staying on that Zenyatta and Lucio combo for Cruz. Valuetaja, of course, on McCree, can stand wherever he wants. And Sini, it's going to be his job. Sini is driving the action here as the Genji. He's the one who can climb walls. He's the one who can dash to whatever target he wants. He might even play separately here from the rest of the team. You see them taking the ledge side. This is actually a little bit dangerous.
Mineral's finally on Ana.
Yeah, Mineral is actually using Ana. Oh my goodness. I was going to troll him and just never mention it.
It took long enough. All right, well, we'll see how that works out for him. Like you say, Sini's really going to have to pick up the pace here. Already about 3 minutes left to go for them. Not to capture this point, but to complete the entire map for them to go ahead and take this from Reunited. Incredibly strong time to start things off, and they are actually on the high ground here, trying their best to look for opportunities to drop down, which is great. Reunited in the meantime, though, they're holding strong. They're not actually falling yet. Kib doing a good job of keeping damage, reflecting in with Genji, and just keeping 2STRONK contained until a good opportunity comes out.
Here comes the Dragon Blade from Kib. Will he have any targets? He's used it so early without anyone in front of him, but I guess, you get that calm yell out to just dive in. You go for it, and looks like the Ana was taken out very quickly. She did pop her ult, but it definitely didn't do enough for the 2STRONK team, as everyone on Reunited basically still standing. Cruz was kind of the only casualty, and with only 2.5 minutes left, this is actually starting to look impossible. The game actually gives you more time to take point A than it took Reunited to finish the entire map. So that obviously a difficult task as it is, but the not taking A immediately really, really cramps their chances.
I think this might just straight up be it, unfortunately, Joshy. Reunited, they knew how important the first point was. I thought they were very patient, keeping 2STRONK inside the room, not looking to rush in and desperately try and kill them off right the heck now, which I thought was great. Kib waiting, and then finally getting the kill off on the Icefeld there. And this attack now, well, Sini's going to try his best to make the difference, but unfortunately Transcendence, the scourge of all Genjis, probably seals that Beyond Gold down.
And just to note, you cannot deflect Diva Mecha Suit explosions. It looked like he may have been trying to do that, but GGs do come out. That is going to be it. Even though there's some time on the board still for them to do this, it is technically impossible. So they know that. They've been playing this game for months and months. They know when they're beat, and 2STRONK calls it a day. Reunited takes the series 2-1 and will move on into the grand finals to meet either the winner, or sorry, either Creation Esports or Rogue.
Yeah, and of course, we're going to be talking about that matchup in a bit. That's going to be absolutely fantastic as well. That best of 3 really was, like, it was kind of a tale of two halves, to be honest. Reunited winning on Gibraltar, not necessarily completely overwhelming. 2STRONK edging out on Nepal, and then Reunited on Numbani. Oh my goodness, they switched it up in about 3 different gears. One man who I know was definitely enjoying it from backstage is Alex Machine.
If
How are
only
you
he
doing,
were
buddy?
here.
Yeah. Hello. How you
Whoa.
doing? I've been here this whole time, guys.
That's why we didn't even miss you.
Well,
you were here.
Well, you did see me. You did see me because I came towards the end of that Nepal capture point. I was sitting there like, this is over. This is over.
I waved you away.
in.
I was like, bye, man.
I mean, come on. Can we just acknowledge and give 2STRONK some credit, because that comeback was resilient. They demonstrated some resilience there, because I mean, let's be honest, the Gibraltar, we were kind of sitting there, and that was pretty close as well. Taking 2STRONK, managing to get all the way to the 5th of the best of 5. Now we come in. I mean, admittedly, Numbani was a bit of a one-sided affair, but John, I know you were hinting at 2STRONK being the weak link of this semi-final set. Were you expecting a performance like that?
No, not at all. I think I was expecting Reunited to win, but I definitely wasn't expecting... I was expecting more Numbani-esque kind of performances, and 2STRONK really struck a chord with me, especially on Nepal. Their individual performances, I think Sini really stepping it up as well, and Icefeld really pulling his weight on Valutaja, on Tracer. I mean, you know, at times he did also pull his weight on Valutaja, which was convenient. But especially on Nepal, I thought they showed real strength of character, and Numbani felt like a little bit of a lack of preparation as opposed to a lack of team strength. So I wouldn't take too much away from that and go, oh, that's really discouraging for them. But Reunited were just so well prepared on that 3rd map.
Yeah, and that's where I just want to kind of probe a little bit with you, Josh, is why did that Numbani go so one-sided? I mean, do you have the answers for me? Was it a case of just losing a couple of important team fights, or was there more intricacies to it?
Well, the first fight on point A definitely went in Reunited's favor very quickly. We didn't actually get a great look at anything as we were following the Genji. He was doing what he was supposed to, you know, leaping up the side and trying to find his squishy targets, but really it was the rest of the team. Reunited, it seemed that they just had a lot of good individual fights, managed to destroy the defense on A, and taking A so quickly can really screw you up on the defense if you're spawning at different locations. Again, that comes into play. The first kill that you get will respawn farther up than the rest of the team. The later deaths are going to spawn so far back in the map that it's difficult to stand up a good defense at the beginning of the Streets phase.
Right.
We saw them kind of trickle in at the beginning of the Streets phase and lose those defenders. So the fact that they didn't wait for all 6, they tried again to rally near the end of that Streets phase. It again didn't work out for them, and that was just a case of, you know, one side getting the better ults than the other. But Reunited overall just show a proficiency for those payload maps, man. It's difficult. I think it's a good thing that 2STRONK got to play Nepal and show that they're not just a walkover team, because their performance there was just so much better.
It really was. It was a little bit of a kind of a silver lining for 2STRONK, who have been eliminated. Now, that does mean we'll be seeing more from Reunited. They're locked in for the grand final, the victor of which will be happy to secure that spot in the playoffs and have a guaranteed opportunity to battle for $300,000 and, of course, a trip to Atlanta. Atlanta's nice. I've been.
Yeah. I've been
good.
a fair few times. I actually grew up in South Carolina, only a couple hours from the border of Georgia. I've been to Atlanta many times. Very nice city.
Have you been to the E-League Arena, though?
I have not been to the E-League Arena. I'll be very pleased to go there if I can.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, you guys will be able to have an opportunity to try and get there yourselves. This is all about how open Overwatch can be. Of course, this is what's kind of in the name. And you can check out the website as well, overwatchopen.com. Alongside that as well, keep talking to us with the hashtag OWOpen. Let us know who you think is going to be winning our next game. We get Creation versus Rogue. What are your predictions? What are you hoping to see? What heroes are you hoping to pop out? What maps do you want to see? Do you want to see Josh perhaps undo a button or two? I know I do.
Which one?
No,
don't answer that.
Okay, fine. Right, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we do come back, we have another highly anticipated European clash. We get to see Rogue, a team that did get thrown by the wayside by Anox grand finalists, and now we get to see them have a battle for redemption to get to the grand finals this time. They're going up against Creation, and we're bringing all of the action after the break.